Welcome to Upper Sandusky Community Library's Crafternoon. My name is Rachel and I'll be helping you make this month's craft, our Cactus Photo Holder. So if you've already been to the library and gotten a craft pack, grab some scissors, your glue gun, get that plugged in, and we'll get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get our painting done. So on your clay pot, what I did is I just painted the rim bright white there. And on all these things we do today, you're going to need 2 coats. It just sucks up the paint. So I did the rim. If you see on this one, I kind of did a little design on the pot. Just do whatever you feel, whatever makes you happy. And this one was an accident because I had paint on my fingers, so I had fingerprints, so I just put a little swirly on it. Whatever you got to do. So you get this painted in on your rocks. We're using a high gloss paint, so it has a nice sheen to it. You paint all over on these rocks, front and back and top and bottom, just to get it all covered. These will take 2 coats. They just suck it right up. So when you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. This is kind of a big one. I used a bigger rock so you could see it better. And I chose to go dark green with a light green stripe on it. You can do the reverse, whatever you like. This is after 2 coats. Now what we're going to do, once you have that painted, on mine I'm going to do a light green stripe. So I'm just going to snip my paint here and get some out on my plate. Now you can use your paintbrush to do the stripes, or you can use your sponge. Now when I painted the rock and also the rim of the pot, I used the sponge. It was a lot quicker and covered a lot more surface area. I just used dark green on one and then on one end and then white on the other. It worked out fine. But it's really whatever you'd like. For the stripes, as you can see here, there's stripes there, and on our example, you can use your paintbrush, and you're going to go top to bottom on this. So you can see here at the top there. I'm just going to connect some stripes or get them real close to each other. And you see that you don't get a whole lot of paint on these brushes, so it's kind of doing the best you can to get a good stripe down there. And if you hold your tongue just right, it helps, I found. See, that's kind of like how it is with the brush. There's also another alternative. If you clean your sponge out or use the third end, you can just do the very corner, the tip here, and you can just rock it on there to make a line. Like that, get some more paint, take up where you left off, rock it there. And it may not be as even, it depends on how close your sponge is. But if you get a line going that way, then you can go back and smooth it. It's all on how steady your hands are and how connected you want your line to be. So here you go. Now I just go back and connect the spots. See? I was a little steadier with my brush on that one. Again, it's just whatever fits for you. So now you can wait until your green dries a little bit. It does take a little while because you're going gloss on gloss. But you can also have the option, once you get all your stripes done on front and back, now you can do all on one side and then wait for that to dry and then flip and do the other, or you can do the stripes, then do the spines. But I'll show you how to do the spines now. You know, on a cactus, especially on those prickly pear ones where all the little spikes, we're going to kind of imitate that, as you can see on our example, just by making little white X's on top of the stripes. Now, I did mine by using the other end, the non-brush end of our black brush, or if you want an even finer kind of spine, just use the other end, the pokey end of your photo pick. So whatever works for you. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use the photo pick on this one. So I'm just dipping it in my paint, and then just right on top of the line, just let me get more paint on there, load it up, just make some X's. Now you can just do a straight up X, or you can add a little bit more, like more of a snowflake style, whatever you like. I kind of like just the X's. I think they look a little bit more clean that way. And when you do it, what I did on mine is I just spaced them out so they weren't right on top of each other for the stripes beside each other there. So just, I should have poured my paint out. Get it there. And then, for example, instead of going right parallel so they're even with each other, kind of go in a zigzag pattern. That way your spines aren't right on top of each other. And you just do that on each one of your opposite color lines until it looks something like that. And then you can repeat the process on your smaller stone if you'd like on this one. Or you can leave it all green, you can do it the opposite color green, just have fun with it, whatever you like. And so once those are done and they're dried completely, what we're going to do is we're going to glue on our rickrack, our little pom-pom ball ribbon. Now I did mine along the rim, up at the top here. As you can see, just right. Well, I guess I'll just show you on this one. Up at the top. Now you can do it here under the bottom or in the middle, just whatever style you like. But how I got mine started, I just put a dot of the hot glue where I wanted to start. I didn't do the whole rim because it dries just too fast. And then I stuck my end in there. Be real careful when you're using your fingers, obviously. You've got glue experience, but be cautious, it is warm. And then I went down about a inch or so and added another dot. Just work in small sections, that way it doesn't dry and you don't feel as rushed. And you just complete that all the way around the top. Now I am a big fan of these bright pink and hot colors. They're just happy colors, so I really like this ribbon. And pom-poms, oh, don't get me started on pom-poms. I love me a pom-pom. So get it all the way down there. Watch out for your strings. Get that done. Now, you're most likely going to have a little bit of an overhang. So you can trim that off, or you can just go ahead and glue it on top of the other. I'm just going to glue it on top of the other. I don't think it looks too bad that way. So just finish off with another dot of glue. We'll caught the strings. And there you have it. That's kind of our pot decoration. And now you're probably wondering what we have this big piece of packing foam. Thank you to Amazon. What we're going to do with this is you're just going to shove this inside of your pot. And it's going to look something silly like this sticking out. Now, this is going to be messy. And I apologize to you and to having to vacuum after this, but you're probably going to have to sweep or vacuum. You ought to see my workstation downstairs in the basement. It looks like it's like an explosion of winter down there because I have all these little balls from this. So yay, looking forward to that, huh? Well, let's get started on this then. So it's going to stick out a little bit. We don't want that to happen. So what you're going to do is you're just going to start ripping off the top a little bit and shoving it in those corners. These little areas here that the foam doesn't cover. I've got glue in my hair. So just get it down until it's about flat with the top. And just peel it off. You can use your scissors. I just use my fingers. And if you got enough to stuff in there and you have extra, just kind of put that to the side so you can throw that out. So get your all the way around it filled in, and then you can remove the extra. Now once you have it down about flat to the pot, yeah, getting close there. So it's kind of like that, so you can't see a whole lot of it up there. Now we're going to make a divot or an indent where we're going to be able to place our cactus. So kind of stick your cactus in there and figure out where you want him to be. And then you're just going to dig out a spot so he can rest in there. You want to give it kind of a generous indent. That way it's supported by the foam and also the hot glue we're going to put in there. And so on this one, I don't know if you can see very well. It's kind of hard to tell white on white, but there's an indent there. Now I'm going to be very generous with my glue on this, especially since I'm using a bigger rock for this display. So have him handy because we all know how fast this glue dries. So just squirt some in there. Be generous in the bottom. And then pretty quickly stick him in there. There, so let him press in there and let him dry a little bit. Now when you're putting them in there, a lot of times we're going to be more, have more of a tendency to go with the wider bottom, and so it narrows at the top. But if you notice a lot on the prickly pear cactus and stuff, that they're kind of narrower and they kind of go out. So it looks kind of neat if you kind of stick the narrower into the pot with the wider end at the top. But again, however you like it. And then you'll just do the same thing with your little rock. Now he doesn't have to have much of a divot. In fact, if it's on the smaller side, you can probably just glue them there. So, you know, whatever works for you, depending on the size of your rock. So once we get your cacti in there, then you notice we still have all this white snow. So cactus in the snow is not what we're going for. So get your gravel ready. So kind of open your bag and have them ready to go, ready to pour on there. And kind of do like one section and then the next. So what we're going to do with that, so we're just going to, again, load the hot glue, tuck down any stray little white guys because we don't want those to show through all those little pieces of foam. I think I should have tore this one down a little bit more. So what we're going to do is just going to pour some glue in there, be generous with the glue, and then just going to pour some of your stones on top. Just kind of spread them around and press them a little bit on top. Be careful with the glue being hot. And then you're just going to continue to work in sections around. Now before you, I guess I should have told you, before you finish your last section, figure out where you want your pick to go before you start your stones. So I'm going to just put mine kind of at an angle back there, and then we can continue around. And the glue that we put down for the stones will also help your pick to stay. So I'm just going to squirt some more in there, and then put some more stones. Just press them down, and then just continue all the way around. And then, once you've got all your gravel done, your finished product will look like this, with your two little stones and your pom-pom fringe, and all you need is that super hot picture of you and you know, that fabulous vacation you went on this year. Put in there, or if you're like me, it's just a picture of your cat. So whatever it is, I'm sure it looks fabulous, and I've enjoyed so much being with you during this project, and I look forward to seeing you in September. There will be no Crafternoon in August. We're going to be going back to in-person programming starting in September. So watch the newsletter and watch our Facebook page for all the information about that. I'm really excited about getting to meet you all in person. So I hope you'll plan on being there with us. Crafternoon is going to become Craft Party. So there's going to be a little bit of music, some crafts, maybe even some snacks. So I hope to see you there. Just keep your eye out, and we'll give you all the information once we get it all down. Have a great day. Thank you.